because CNN has confirmed that Whitney Houston has died at the age of 48.
Cause of death, drowning and cocaine use. Officially, Houston's death is classified as an accident.
Kevin Costner once swore he would never let Whitney Houston drown, figuratively or literally. Yet on the afternoon of February 11th, 2012, his phone buzzed with the impossible. Whitney was gone, found face down in a Beverly Hilton bathtub. Costner collapsed into a hotel chair miles away, replaying 20 years of friendship in the space of a voicemail notification. They had first bonded on the set of The Bodyguard, where he fought executives to cast a chart-topping singer with no film resume. Back then, he promised to keep her safe from Hollywood's sharks. Now that vow lay shattered. Fans cried, tabloids howled. But Costner's grief carried a private weight, weighing the letters he still hadn't mailed, haunted by the call he'd missed just hours earlier. Rumors swirled about a hush money trail, an ill-timed romance with Ray J, and security cameras that conveniently blinked off during Whitney's final hour. What none of us knew was that Costner held fragments of the truth, handwritten notes, saved voicemails, and a mounting guilt he could no longer outrun. Tonight we retrace his footsteps through studio showdowns, late-night pep talks, and the frantic 48 hours that rewrote pop music history. Because to understand Whitney's last chapter, you have to see it through the eyes of the man who loved her like a sister and believes he failed her twice. But first, step back to the moment Hollywood almost erased Whitney's name from The Bodyguard, until one stubborn actor drew a line in the sand.
You made The Bodyguard. The studio didn't want to cast Whitney Houston at first.
I think they thought that maybe there was a better choice, you know, and I didn't see it as a risk at all. Just like Horizon, I didn't see it. I saw what I saw was Whitney was the one, and it was hard to talk me out of it because I didn't see what the risk was.
1992. Studio chiefs wanted a bankable starlet for their thriller, not a black pop queen fresh off a world tour. Kevin Costner threatened to walk. No Whitney, no movie, he told the board, even volunteering to delay production until her tour wrapped. The gamble paid off. Opening weekend shattered projections, and I Will Always Love You became a cultural time capsule. Off camera, the pair traded insecurities, Whitney fretting over dialogue, Kevin doubting his singing scenes. Late nights found him sliding lyric sheets and hand-scribbled pep talks under her trailer door. Remember, the world already loves your voice. Show them the rest. Their bond turned familial. He nicknamed her Magic. She called him KC. Yet Costner also noticed the whispers, missed rehearsals, sudden exhaustion, hangers-on with agendas. His first please, take care letter left set post in yellow stationery. Magic, fame has claws, keep yours clipped. Whitney saved it. Over the next decade, the letters grew longer, the warnings sharper. A Wyoming ranch stood ready if she ever wanted detox, far from LA temptations. She said she'd consider it after the next album. She never did. Those letters became lifelines, until they morphed into frantic SOS notes he's no longer sure she read. And the last one he wrote, stamped and unsent, still sits in his office safe, stained where rain-soaked hands smeared the ink the night he heard she was gone. But Kevin wasn't the only voice in her ear, because by 2011, a younger singer had stepped into the spotlight, and the inner circle braced for trouble.
And she would always be close to me. She would always be someone I appreciated. But when someone asked me to write a letter, I did. I don't know if those letters were ever read.
For nearly 20 years, Costner wrote Whitney steady streams of ink, birthday jokes, motivational quotes, discreet warnings. He kept photocopies of each, a habit learned from his director days. By 2024, those folders filled an entire drawer, and his lawyers quietly filed to protect archived personal recordings tied to Whitney's estate. The most fragile file? A voicemail saved to encrypted cloud storage. Friends say it captures Whitney whispering, "They're downstairs, Kev. I just need a minute," followed by muffled arguing and a door slam. The timestamp, 2 days before she died. Kevin has never confirmed or denied its existence, but when asked, his eyes glass over and he changes the subject. He fears exploiting her memory, yet he also fears that silence props up a lie. Behind the scenes, legal advisors urge caution. Releasing the tape could trigger lawsuits and dredge up non-disclosure pacts signed in the aftermath. Even so, Costner's closest confidant claims he re-listens each anniversary, muttering, "I should have flown there." The letters and voicemail form a paper trail, one that could challenge the accidental drowning verdict and expose who really stood outside Whitney's hotel room. But Kevin hesitates, grappling with a promise never to profit from her pain. His dilemma grows heavier as new headlines resurrect old rumors. Rumors featuring the name Ray J, a man Whitney's family never trusted. And with each fresh media cycle, the pressure mounts. Speak now and risk everything, or stay silent and live with the weight of what might have been.
My God, somebody gave her a bad bag.
Cocaine.
Yes, I promise you, that was the first thing that came out of my mouth. And then I saw Ray J, and it all added up.
Ray J entered Whitney's orbit like a spark in dry brush, charismatic, earnest, and instantly distrusted by her relatives. The age gap didn't bother fans as much as his reputation for late-night antics. Aunt Leola Brown publicly branded him a runner, accusing him of delivering the bad bag that tilted Whitney's fragile health. At the 2012 Billboard Music Awards, Houston Cousins reportedly blocked Ray J from a VIP row. Eyewitnesses recall him pushing past, yelling, "She loved me." Back in 2011, Kevin had expressed private concern, emailing a mutual friend, "I don't like the noise around her. Reminds me of sharks when they smell blood." Whitney brushed off warnings, insisting Ray J offered normalcy outside industry politics. Yet security notes show friction. One evening, Whitney's team escorted him from the set of a comeback show after heated words backstage. Family believed he meant well, but lacked the gravity to anchor a legend in crisis. The more they resisted, the tighter Whitney clung, framing the relationship as her final rebellion against handlers. Costner watched from a distance, drafting yet another unsent letter. Magic, choose hearts that want nothing from you. He sensed a storm gathering, couldn't pinpoint its shape, but knew the forecast felt wrong. Grammy weekend arrived, bringing red carpets, champagne, and a sweet number, 434, that would echo forever. As hotel elevators chimed and paparazzi flashes lit the lobby, Kevin sat in Wyoming rehearsing lines for a documentary cameo, unaware that a phone destined to ring would soon miss him by minutes.
Wednesday, February 8th, Whitney was spotted leaving her doctor's office in Beverly Hills. She was treated for a sore throat. Thursday, February 9th, Whitney crashed a TV interview with her mentor, Clive Davis, and singers Brandy and Monica. Later that night, Whitney surprised everyone by joining singer Kelly Price on stage at a pre-Grammy party. The final images of her were taken as she left the party, her hair messy, her face sweaty. Saturday, February 11th. In the morning, Whitney spoke with her cousin, Dionne Warwick, on the phone. 3:43 p.m., Whitney took a bath. She knocked on the door.
When she didn't answer, she went in and found the superstar face up in the water-filled tub.
Friday, 6 p.m. Witnesses hear shouting in Whitney's suite, thuds and unnamed visitors' muffled curse. By 8 p.m., she's downstairs, smiling weakly, assuring reporters they'll catch up at the party. Saturday, 11 a.m. A housekeeper notes smeared mascara on the mirror in an open minibar. 3 calls ping Ray J's phone. Cell tower pings place him 3 blocks away. At 3:18 p.m., hotel engineering logs show cameras on the East Wing disabled for routine maintenance, a request filed weeks earlier but executed precisely that afternoon. 3:30, guests hear banging and a woman's voice yelling, "Not now!" 3:42, Ray J swipes in through a side door. Lobby staff recall him pacing, phone glued to his ear, muttering, "Pick up, pick up." 3:54, security dispatch receives a silent call from room 434, just breathing, then a disconnect. 4:02, Whitney's assistant discovers her submerged. Paramedics arrive 12 minutes later. Autopsy, heart disease, cocaine traces, and unidentified reddish granules in the residue. Toxicologists request a deeper panel. Results never released. Partygoers downstairs, led by Clive Davis, debate canceling the gala, then dim the chandeliers and soldier on. In the hallway, two men in tailored suits exit with small duffels, slipping through the kitchen. A guard remembers chemical wipe scent in their wake. The chain of custody documenting Whitney's effects goes missing for 12 hours, then reappears with gaps. Costner's phone finally rings at 4:40. He answers to uncontrolled sobbing and the three words he's repeated in nightmares ever since. Kev, she's gone. His knees buckle. On instinct, he books a red-eye, rehearsing condolences he'll soon deliver to a mourning world.
For today, they told Donna, drug dealer Ray J, she said, I don't know if that's his name. It sounds like that singer, but I don't think it's him.
Yeah, when I heard that, as a matter of fact, I think everybody gasped when we heard that. Because we still want justice for Whitney Houston. Ray J was Whitney Houston's gay best friend, selling her illegal substances, and it's alleged that he gave her a fatal cocktail.
Weeks after Whitney's burial, Ray J's LLC receives two wires labeled consulting, $125,000 and $200,000. Banking insiders leak screenshots. Same sender, different offshore routing numbers. Blogs ping Costner's publicist for comment. He declines. Industry vets whisper that such payouts are crisis management hush funds. Pay the courier, seal the chatter. Yet Ray J blows the lid anyway, ranting on Instagram, all that hush dough, keep it, I'm activating. Strangely, no powerhouse lawyer sends a cease and desist. Silence can mean power or fear of discovery. Behind closed doors, PR firefighters scramble. If Ray J publishes bank receipts, a mountain of NDA-insured reputations crumble. Simultaneously, Costner contemplates releasing Whitney's final voicemail. He knows combining financial proof with her voice could detonate the neat, accidental narrative. Friends caution the fallout. Lawsuits, studio blacklists, personal mourning reopened for profit. Costner retorts, truth isn't profit. Somewhere in Antigua, Ray J refreshes his feed, weighing exile against confession. The cleanup crew that once controlled the narrative feels the first tremor of collapse. By spring, entertainment lawyers quietly inquire whether Costner seeks a settlement to keep recordings private. He refuses, at least for now. Two ticking time bombs, one ledger, one voicemail, wait on opposite ends of the map. Should they meet in public view, the biggest cover-up in modern pop history could shatter overnight. And with every silent sunrise, Kevin wonders if today is the day he finally presses play. Whitney Houston's 1994 Grammy high note still floats in the collective memory, flawless and defiant, yet the circumstances of her final breath remain muffled beneath conflicting testimonies. Kevin Costner lives with a vow unfulfilled, a cache of letters unsent, and a voicemail that may hold the key to her last fearful hours. Ray J clutches receipts that could expose hush money architects. The Houston family's bad bag suspicion lingers, unanswered. Security footage vanished. Toxicology mysteries persist. Was Whitney failed by personal demons, predatory lovers, or an industry that cashed in on her brilliance until the very end? That question echoes like an unresolved chord, waiting for the proof Costner and Ray J both possess. If they speak, the world may finally hear the full score, a story of friendship, neglect, and the price of silence. Until then, the greatest voice of our lifetime hovers in limbo, pleading for justice as powerful as her pitch. Drop your memories, theories, and hopes below. If the voicemail leaks or the ledger surfaces, we'll be back. Because closure as mighty as Whitney's final note can only come when every hidden track is played. And somewhere in Wyoming, a steadfast friend rehearses his truth, ready to step back on stage one last time. This time, to guard her legacy instead of her body.